Hello guys, welcome to our channel, The Collector's Hub. Today we going our venture to the Baldur's Gate. If you want to see the full playthrough, you can check out our live stream tab, where we play the whole game unedited. If you like this kind of video game series, and would like us to continue with this series or similar game in the future, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for all the support.
Thrust his arm with me bare hands. Weaker than pixies, humans.
Oh, you got him good.
And who are you? Another pest? Think you rule the world just because you got a scary face? Ha!
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Well, not us. Things are changing. We got the absolute on our side now. You better learn your place. Go on. Kiss my foot. Or I'll kick your head in, on face. Look, mate, just piss off. You're not welcome here. I'm sorry, true soul man. I didn't realize.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten. His lips smack together wetly and leave a trail of saliva on your foot.
There you go.
He kissed.
What was I saying? Just had to talk to me.
Russia.
I gotta take a
Russia
piss.
just licked some toes.
Statue of St.
No, go inside. Inside. Boring.
Yeah. Oi! Ain't no party in here. Shut it, Graw. Olak cleared us. Got a visitor for the drow, I do. My arse. What's a true soul want with any mate of yours? Private business, that is. Raiding business. But if anyone wants a piss pot guarded, we'll call. Just get your friend branded proper. Right, Sazza? Got better things to do than... No, you don't. Come on, then. Bloody racket. Oh, come on now. They're just having a bit of...
Seluna. As if mingling with a horde of goblins wasn't bad enough. Let's do what we have to do, then get out of here. Quite the understatement, but yes. Let's not linger in this place any more than necessary. Vile idolatry.
Ain't polite to stare, Wormwalt. If you ain't got the guts to get branded, clear off. Ain't just a mark on the flesh, it's magic. Only them what follows the Absolute can see it. Lets us know you're on our side. That way, nobody will mess with you.
Now here's somebody special. The Absolute has touched you, hasn't she? Priestess Gut needs to touch you too. Hold out your arm so I can mark your flesh. Let's the faithful recognize one another quick sharp. That way nobody'll mess with ya. And it's charged with magic. Ordinary slobs can't see it, only us that follow the Absolute. You ready? Brace yourself, this'll sting. Maybe you don't need it. After all, you're special, ain't ya? Like me.
She probes your mind, tangling your thoughts with hers. A familiar sensation. She too carries a power. Darkness seems to swallow the temple, leaving you with a vision of the goblin priestess receiving instruction from a handsome young man, one of the chosen. The vision dissolves away. You stand before the goblin priestess in the temple once again. Her faith floods into you, a tide of shuddering ecstasy. Her tadpole nestles within that mania, secure, hidden.
I feel you in there, digging around. Works both ways. And I saw some weird shadows swimming around in your head just now. Maybe I can help with that. Us true souls gotta look out for one another. A creature? There's definitely something rotten in there. Let me take a closer look. I ain't seen anything like this before. Hey? Ain't nothing wrong with me. You're the one who's sick in the head. No need to panic, though. With the Absolute's will, I can fix anything. Let's deal with this in my chapel. It's private. Don't want this lot interfering with true soul business.
Oi, priestess, we want the mark.
Why do they think they're talking to a god?
Ain't we good enough for the Absolute?
This ain't the party, pal. We're working here.
Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
You know Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treats his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as goomless as the rest of them. Maglubiet's looked out for me since I was knee-high to a walk pup. Bollocks to this Absolute, I say, and bollocks to you and all. You think this is funny? I'll be the one laughing when things turn ugly. Safer in here than out there.
Shh. Let's hope this gives us some answers. Silence. You'll interrupt the ritual.
I command you, corpse. Speak. Reveal truth to the Absolute.
By Vlaakith's blade, a geich.
Nothing. Must be reading it wrong. Suga na Sukok.
The hobgoblin turns to you, and the parasite squirms in your skull. You taste the ale on his tongue and the bile in his soul. The visions cloud your inner eye for a brief moment once again. You see the hobgoblin bowing before the armored elf you'd glimpsed before. The elf speaks of the hunt for a great weapon, and the rewards that will go to whoever finds it. The hobgoblin's eyes gleam hungrily.
If it isn't a true soul devil.
He doesn't speak his next words, yet they still rattle your skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance.
This Mind Flayer's build is smaller, its garb plainer. A fearsome creature even in death, but not the one that tormented you. Yet it too roamed the Nautiloid. It would have seen you, known you.
Absolute says the dead squiddy had a weapon. I reckon the killer nabbed it and scooted off to that looter camp. We find who killed it, and we find who took that weapon. So settle in.
You feel Shadowheart's anxiety. The weapon the Absolute seeks. It's the artifact that she carries. The same one that protected you as you entered the goblin camp. Her mind focuses. Their suspicion cannot be aroused. They cannot discover that the weapon they seek is within their grasp. Your skull sizzles with Ragslin's displeasure. His mouth is still, but you hear his demand.
I speak for the Absolute, and I say, you stay. I've got plans for you, lass. And there's no true soul yet who turned their back on the Absolute.
You choke on black smoke as the hobgoblin bellows his incantation.
I command you, corpse, speak and say sooth. Lucan ok al koldek shul kolkek.
The hideous corpse rises, tentacles writhing. Your heart seizes. Under questioning, the creature might recognize you as its killer. Ragslin's mind reels, then calms. He will speak as you command. With Ragslin's voice, you ask.
Who is the Absolute?
Ragslin frowns in confusion at a question he would never have asked. Then the creature speaks in visions. Curved drow blades, crude goblin torches, gnoll teeth dripping blood. You see other mind flayers arranged in a serene circle. Absolute unity. Absolute power.
Damn it! That tells me nothing!
You feel Ragslin's suspicions. He'd never have asked about his master. You remain in control. Barely. Ragzlin's mind is clouded by doubt, surprised once more by words he didn't expect. Again, visions flow through you. A swarm of Githyanki dragon riders, silver blades held high, control panels melting, flesh pods spilled open.
Githemans, they know something.
Suspicion floods Ragzlin's mind. Your brain howls as you force a final query into his throat.
Who killed you, freak?
Another vision consumes you. A memory, seen through the creature's soul-dead eyes. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod, devoid of flesh, only darkness.
That can't be! Wait! Hold on.
Ragzlin pierces your mind, prodding for truth.
You're no true soul. Yeah, you're right. You're a real true soul. I felt it.
The corpse collapses, silent once more.
No! I'm not done! Riddles, all of it, and nothing to show for the trouble but rotting squid meat. No answers, no killer, and no damned weapon. That damned Trow was right. Can't let her get all the glory. Like I said, I got plans for you. Report to the Drow. Minthar is the name. She's mounting an attack on that blasted grove. Tell her you'll join her. Say that again. 'Cause I know I didn't just hear you refuse the Absolute. Falling in line. Just what I like to see.
No prizes for guessing what this weapon they're after really is.
Don't go bothering my pigeon. He's mine. Keep him safe. Listen to him coo. Till I gets hungry or some such. What's it to ya? Then catch one on your own.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Take him for a joke, why don't ya? And don't let the lads snatch him up. No, tell him what they'll do to him. Bring him back when he's all tuckered out. Here's the key. Pigeon's all yours.
Ah, my friend, we can speak freely. I'm in no hurry to take my turn on that spit out front. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to unlock this cage? Of course not. As compensation, I can assure you the tale of your heroism will live on forever. I'll write an anonymous account of your largesse then. None will know your name, but your doings will live on. Volothemp Gedar, realm-renowned author, auteur, and tastemaker at your service. Please, a hand? curiosity, my friend. It didn't benefit the cat, but it's the foundation of my career. Though, I admit I've hit something of an impasse. Please, unlock my cell. Volothamp Gedam, realm-renowned author, and tastemaker at your service. I don't need a promise, my friend, only an honest attempt. Please do consider it. Aha! I knew I could count on you, my friend. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain!
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here. Ah, are you also here to assist with the prisoner? The gentleman being held next door. My acquaintance is working on him, I believe. While I was thrilled to be invited here, I must confess, I find the goblins and their methods crude and primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree? Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you. Because I see those same eyes when I look in the mirror, dear one. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Loviatar teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sure you're in need of a little penance.
My, an eager student indeed. Those are advanced devotions. The mistress would approve. Indicate which instrument calls to you, and let us put it to work. Oh, I do believe we are both going to enjoy this. Both Loviatar and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Come now, dear child. It is time to repent. Simply face the wall and stay absolutely still. The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. You want more? As you wish, dear one.
Don't wear her out entirely, priest. I might have use for her yet.
Wonderful. Just wonderful. Wonderful. You want more? I'll give it to you.
Not the worst technique, priest. Good wrist movement. Lots of enthusiasm.
That's it! Welcome the pain. Let it become part of you. Your voice sounds so sweet, dear one. Keep going. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I am proud to have served you this penance. As did I, dear one. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine.
Your world has... That the jingle of coin, I hear? You've timed it well, my friend. Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous.
You recognize the crest she bears, the winged serpent of the Zentarim.
Half right, sharp eyes. As then is a normal trader. Just a matter of what's for sale. Weapons and other exotic goods, true enough. But most of all, we offer discretion. No judgment, no right and wrong, just good deals and bad. That a problem for you? You joking? Goblins sell the best prisoners. Cheap, quiet, and eager to be elsewhere. Till this crowd converted and started sending their captives to Moonrise Towers, at least. No complaints, mind. I just sold enough smoke powder to cover the loss 10 times over. Ask the drow they're all bowing to. That glint in her eye is bad news for someone. Not my concern, so long as I'm paid. Speaking of, something to trade or what?
Looking ahead.
Keep your distance, darling.
Can't afford to stay idle. Worth a shot? Mustn't let anyone see. Looks like these plates on the floor can be turned. That might be worth a look. Look, how tempting. Got to keep moving.
What a day. Tread lightly.
What's hiding here?
Leave me alone! You fertilize the fields with the dead! Rivers and streams with their blood. Their cities will be razed to the ground. And they'll know.
Careful, I bite. What? Let's hope for gold.
Rivers and streams will flow with their blood.
How delicious. Leave no trace.
Listen, the Absolute honors you and slays her enemies. She'll fertilize the fields with the dead. Rivers and streams will flow with their blood.
No time to dally.
Their cities will be razed to the ground. And they'll know she is Absolute. You'll sit at her table. You'll drink from her barrels. You will reign!
With ease.
What's next?
The Absolute honors you and slays her enemies. She'll fertilize the fields with the dead. Rivers and streams will flow with their blood.
On my way.
Their cities will be razed to the ground. And they'll know she is Absolute. You'll sit at her table. You will reign. Get your eye off my ass!
shouldn't have wished to live.
Tell me where your hideout is. Ain't so hard, is it? Poor lad. I could give you peace, you know. But no. You gotta keep silent, don't you? Where do they flee to, you stubborn rat?
Please, stop!
Ah, here to see your friend, have ya? Come and join him if you like.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
We do all the work, and you get to finish him? Bah! Take him! Won't do you any good. He just screams. Should have sent him to Moonrise with the rest for all the good he's been. I want to watch that weird priest next door. Sounded like he was beating something up. Yeah.
Hands off! This one's ours.
Oh, forget about him. There'll be more of them soon. What's he doing? Doesn't he need someone to torture?
Nose twitches impatiently. Her teeth bite air as though it is flesh, but it doesn't sate her hunger.
My faith protects me.
Time to rest. I should speak up.
Please, please! Let me out! There's no reason for this! Halsin, I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive. That's all I know. Please, get me out of here. Somewhere underneath the temple, there's a hidden passage. Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him. Please, please, these shackles. I don't want to die. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, hurry.
Trust no one. A crooked touch.
Thank you. I better go before they catch us. I should be able to make it to the Grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger. Halsin, I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive. The Grove, to the east. They wanted to know where we came from. They'll kill everyone. Please, I need to warn them. Brian had instructions, but I have to go. I have to get out of here. I don't know. The boss didn't say.
just said some wizard called Leroacan would reward us if we found it. That's all.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
You flatterer. Why, if I had a warm heart, I'm sure it would be skipping. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? Curious. Illithids, their technical name, form a hive mind. One shouldn't be able to hear their dark whispers unless... That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, my dear, sweet gods! If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was. Soldier? We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players. Old Rusty? Sure. Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. agonizing. Gods, what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat, anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Ah well, can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least.
There you are, my friend. Are you now? Don't make promises you can't keep, darling. Thankfully, I've had my needs met this evening. I found a bear. He took a little of my blood. I took all of his. You're comparing plonk to vintage wine. You can make merry with either, but they're not the same. But Cazador fed me rats and bugs. And when you're used to drinking from a sewer, even plonk is a marked improvement. I existed. That was enough for him. He reveled in having power over me. Because those with power can do whatever the hell they want. Well, yes. You can't look at the world and tell me I'm wrong. They're doing a piss-poor job, then. The strong had 2 centuries to pluck me from torture. But no one came. No. It was the Mind Flayers that rescued me. They gave me a gift. The strength to take my own freedom. I'm embracing this power. You should too. I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. My old master. Before the Mind Flayers took me from him. Before this strange, twisted freedom. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. Not him, no. A gang of thugs attacked me. Angry about a ruling that I'd handed down as magistrate. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer. It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be. A vampire's spawn is less than a slave. They're a puppet. We have no choice but to obey our master's commands. They speak, and our bodies react. It's all part of the deal. Sometimes he'd order us to submit to torture. Sometimes he'd have us torture ourselves. Whatever his weather-vane mood settled on. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open. and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds, but I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me. Horns and all. The people will see a curiosity. Maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters. Keep them safe. And one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Well met.
May the darkness protect you. Fine. What's on your mind?
How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Hey, soldier. You aren't asleep, are you? I'm buzzing, honestly. I couldn't wait to talk to you. Isn't it mad? How good life is. Thank the gods. I was afraid I was the only one. 10 years is a long time to be trapped in the hells. 10 years without a kind word. A touch. When I look at you, I feel real again. Alive. Gods, I want to ride you till you see stars. Ugh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't tease you, or myself. I'd give anything to touch you, but I can't. Not until I can be sure I won't burn you. I'll turn you to charcoal. Guaranteed. You can try, but don't hurt those pretty lips of yours, all right? They feature heavily in my future plans. Wait, no! Are you all right? You have no idea. If I weren't so worried about killing you, I'd be in a puddle on the floor. So, what do we do now? I like the sound of that. My turn. And that's a promise. On that note, I better head back to my bunk. You might not be able to touch me, but you've given me a lot to think about.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle. The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick.
Are you certain? We're nearly there.
Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? I'm not sure what else I can say, at least until I can remember more. She taught me, trained me, punished me. Often, I think I feel her influence when the wound pains me. Not even memories, just glimpses, impressions. Perhaps the wound is her doing, something Lady Shah bid her to do. I don't know.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a woman with one eye.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Oh, hi. If you have any ideas, I'm all for it. Give me all you've got. I'm waiting.
Speak.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time. No. The opposite. I feel like I can share this with you. I've never felt that way before. It's difficult to put into words. I think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind. I'm sure. I trust you. I don't remember how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing. She asked my name. I can't remember what I said. I can't remember anything before those words. All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home with Lady Shah. That's all I remember.
You remember that it is common amongst Selûne's followers to send their children into the woods alone, a rite of passage to find their way home. Perhaps this one has gone awry.
You're reading too much into things. A childhood bauble, that's all. Just because Selûnites claim something doesn't mean they own it. Lady Shah. But yes, her and those who saved me and taught me her ways. The Mother Superior. She made me who I am. At least as best as I can remember. She taught me, trained me, punished me when I failed her, which was often. Perhaps I was. She sent me on this mission after all.
Prisoners lost a lot of
The
blood.
eye's glassy black surface reflects your gaze. As you gaze deeper, you feel a focus, an intent. You feel a brief, lurching connection, the sensation of falling into your own image, endlessly. Confusion, alarm. Then the presence withdraws, leaving a dull black mirror once more.
Mistress! It's me, your loyal servant, Sorcerer. I'm back, and I brought a friend.
How thoughtful. And where did you find this friend?
They was in some rickety druid grove, mostly full of tieflings, but them intruders you're after were hiding out there.
I presume you dealt with my prey and massacred the rest.
Well, the thing about that is, they sort of massacred us. This mug helped me escape, though. I say we stick a few holes in her, show how grateful we are.
You feel a cold hand caress your mind as the drow praises you.
Oh dear. Your prisoner is one of the Absolute's favorites, Sorcerer. A true soul.
No, it can't be. They was in the grove, hanging around with the tieflings.
Undercover, no doubt. Carrying out the Absolute's will. Oh, Sorcerer, you have made a grave error. And it will be... My spiders are hungry, little one. But before they feast, tell me where that grove is. And I may yet spare your life.
It's past the bridge, to the east. Big old gate covered in ivy. Don't...
I will not hurt you. My spiders will have that pleasure.
No, I mucked up, I'm sorry. Who they was? They didn't tell me nothing.
A liar as well as a fool. I hope you're at least digestible.
It ain't true! Them's the bloody liars! Somebody help!
Through sheer luck, that pathetic worm has brought me the information I need. And it seems that the inhabitants of the Grove trust you. We can use that against them. You have a part to play in this slaughter. Return to the Grove. When my raiding party approaches, throw open the gate and signal me.
The fate of the Grove's inhabitants hangs in the balance. Killing the drow here would spare them, but it might be better to face her warband at the Grove itself, on familiar ground. On the other hand, participating in the slaughter as she asks may be the perfect way to earn her trust and access to the cult's inner circle.
Good. Marshalling the goblins is no simple matter, but my warband will be ready to attack by next light. Once we are in position, we will wait for your signal, and then we will break them all.
Come on, mate. It is time to feed the crows.
We won't let you down. Got an earful, did ya?
Come, we have found our prey.
The forest.
You can't do this! We grew up together!
Yeah, and now I'm a royal guard. And you're spider bait. Funny how life turns out, innit?
Very well.
Oi, come here. Ready to clear your head? Whatever the Absolute tells me to. Don't worry, she loves you. I can tell. Don't want a crowd of gawpers. Everybody else needs to leave. Ready to clear your head? Whatever the Absolute tells me to. Don't worry, she loves you. I can tell. Smart. All you need to do is open yourself to the Absolute. And I'll do the rest. Don't want anyone peeping on private matters, so... There we go. Secret and safe. Well, secret.
Psionic feelers creep across your mind, like a pickpocket's fingers seeking flaws in fabric.
It's all slippery in there. What are you hiding? This ain't right. Why are you resisting me if you're one with the Absolute?
She prizes your mental barriers apart and sees the mind flayer from the ship.
Hells, that is horrible. Can see why you'd want to keep it secret. But there's no secrets between us, true soul. Let me take a look and find out what it did to you. No, it's messing with your brain. You're seeing things, probably hearing voices too, yeah? No. You ain't leaving till we get to the bottom of this. You could be dangerous. It involves you putting your trust in the Absolute. Simple. I guess we're doing this the hard way, then. Sweet dreams. Wakey, wakey. Don't bother struggling. You ain't going nowhere. The Absolute wants to know all about that critter in your head. So start talking. You'll pay for talking back. Can't beat you too hard, though. Gotta keep you alive for what comes next. Stop trying to confuse me. You're a liar. Everything's clear since the Absolute chose me. You're the one that's broken. Do you even know who you are anymore? Maybe that's what the creature wants you to think. It's gonna start eating your flesh too, changing you. And eventually your skull will split and you'll cough up a mess of tentacles. You might have put up a fight in another life, freak. But not in this one. Not likely. You're forgetting one thing. I've got the Absolute to protect me. But you're on your own. Nothing more than a skin suit for that monster inside you. You're gonna be my new pet. A ferocious squiddy. All for myself.
You test the weight of the chains, looking for weak points. Pain shoots through your arm as the bone pops out of place. The chains hold tight.
Open your papers, freak. It's time. You should be sprouting tentacles by now. But you're still the same kind of ugly you always was. Disappointing not to have my own squiddy. But your giblets will make for a tasty supper.
Sorry. I may have left that a little late. No lasting damage, I hope? Gorilla Heartflame. At your service. You made quite an impression on my master. He sends his regards. The Honorable Raphael. He's terribly excited about you and your At this point, you're more interesting alive than dead. So here I am, your savior in times of need. Be a little more careful. That skin's valuable, and we won't always be watching.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you. You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
To offer everything it was and everything it was destined to be. Pure potential, pure power.
Good. You have grown your power and improved your chances of survival.
Spend so long poking about down here? I'd much rather be outside, with the sun on my skin.
You've only just come to tolerate sun and you're already nostalgic. If you're going to complain the whole way, by all means, return topside. You could use the color.
Let's go.
The infamous Underdark. Don't worry of the dangers you can see. Worry of the dangers you can't. Mark my words. This power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven. Gladly.
What's inside?
Keep your distance, darling. With pleasure.
More are coming.
Hush. Do you hear it?
They're coming. They're coming.
Control your thoughts. It seems I'm not the only one listening.
They're coming. You're coming.
How much further can I go? Just what I need.
What's on your mind?
Well met. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. All right. Anything more we should discuss?
Looking at something. The only benefit to a mirror when you have my condition, it doesn't quite make up for the lack of a reflection, mind you. Preening in the looking glass. Petty vanity. Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red. Is it? What do you see when you look at me? Oh, go on. This is meant to be flattery, not poetry. Just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day. Observant. Mirrors aren't much use, but being reflected in someone else's eyes? Well, I could do worse.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. I see you've been using the powers the tadpole gives you. Good. But things haven't gone as you expected. You thought Nettie might be able to help you in the Druid's Grove. But all she did was reaffirm the danger. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. I have kept a careful watch on the movements of the cult. Though the Absolute's aims are not yet clear to me, its methods are. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you. It's complicated, but I'm an adventurer, just like you. Just like you, I was infected with a Mind Flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go. The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. Follow the cultists' trail. They will lead you to their masters. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the Absolute Cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power, no matter how alluring. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us. Yes, the one truth that fell out of its cankered lips. There will come a battle, but it will be one with swords, not mind games born of brainworms. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich Elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others. Mark my word, you might just consume all the gate tadpoles you wish gladly.
I had another dream. Which, I suppose, means you did as well. Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap.
I had another visit from that dream figure. I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me. And while we're at it, we can see how many more of these little worms we can harvest. Now, was there anything else?
I had another dream last night. The visitor came to me and ordered me to penetrate the heart of the very cult that's spreading the infection. It gave me a tadpole gift too, just like it did the first time it appeared. I suppose it hoped this would help. At first, I thought we should avoid these gifts no matter what advantage we gain. And yet, I can't help recall the words of my father. The best plan is the one that works. These powers could be enough to edge us towards victory. Then we'd do well to walk around it. Use these powers sparingly, if you must use them at all.
I've been dreaming of our enigmatic visitor again. She told me our purpose was to take on this cult of the Absolute, to infiltrate its ranks and bring it down from the inside. She even offered me greater powers, the result of some manipulation of the tadpole's psionic abilities. Given the magnitude of what we're up against, I see no harm in considering the benefit this offer might afford us. Could be the only way to reach this source in one piece. I suppose you're right. We still see only a part of the picture, however much our visitor claims to show the full vista of options at our disposal. I can't deny my curiosity, but, as you say, no harm in delaying it, for now at least.
Enjoying the view. Looking tasty in these new breeches, ain't I? Proper stylish, ain't they? Nicked 'em off this dwarf we're cooking. Dunno. Was already stripped down to his breeches when I got my hands on him. Had a couple of coins in the pockets and some daft poem. But that's all. Sure you can. But a look's all you're getting. For all I know, this little roaster was some famous bard. And you'll be sending his last words for a pretty penny.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Really? Oh, shite! You might as well use it as bog roll then. I'll get back to tending the meat.
Something's on my mind.
See? It squealed! Hit it again!
Keep your hands steady, 3.
Again! Again! Make it squeal again.
We're juicing it up. The beast came in here with those robbers, killed Dink and Mince too. Boss is thinking of serving it to the wargs.
And it makes funny noises. We made it squeal. Look, you'll see. Give me that rock. I'll show ya.
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin. I must admit, I didn't expect anyone would come to my aid. Who in their right mind would infiltrate a goblin-infested temple? Unless... that look in your eyes. I've seen it before. Are you feeling all right? Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? The Mind Flayer's spawn. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? It's no coincidence that you found me here, I'll wager. You're after a cure for this parasite. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them. Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles, but I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure. I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. I wish I could, but there's still work I've yet to finish. Blood I've yet to spill. I've no right to ask more of you, but if you could help me, I'd be free to join your journey to Moonrise. I cannot allow these butchers to threaten my grove. The natural order must be protected. My thanks. If you prevail, I'll owe you the debt of a lifetime. It's too late to stop things from here. The goblins are already marching on the grove in force. You must get ahead of them. Muster the defenses. Thank you. I know it's a great deal to ask, but the grove is everything to me. Hurry then. I will meet you there. May Sylvanus guide us.
Any word on Master Halsin? Thank the Father he's alive. Please, you have to get him out of there. Thank you. Halson is... No. Don't go there.
Until Master Halson returns, my eyes must stay on Korga.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster? First, you urge grace. Then you speak truth. To think a devil could surprise me twice over. A shame the grace period ends. The Viper's fangs have been bared. She must guard her brood. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanas, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders. The Rite of Thorns. It is the Tree Father's gift that none come to harm. When we speak the final prayer, the great vine will sprout forth. The grove will be cloaked in bramble and thorn. No one enters, no one leaves. Sanctuary. None of this can happen while Outlanders infect us. Sylvanas demands that we choke them out. And mine perish if he stays. You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire. I want you to provide your services to Zevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike. You will do more than speak. This tale ends but one way. With the Outlander rot cleansed, and the grove forever shrouded.
Let her run off!
She's a child.
I heard what happened. Thank you for protecting the child. If the druids are this far gone, then it's not just goblins we have to fear. So we can risk violence here, or face it for certain on the road. Quite the choice, isn't it? You saw what they were willing to do to a child just for trying. It's Korga's influence. Without her twisting things, I believe the druids might see sense. A low thought, but I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered it. But the druids would slaughter us. We'd have to get close to Korga, within striking distance. I can't manage that, but they've already let you pass once. To get these people to Baldur's Gate? Everything. I'm still hoping Korga can be swayed from this madness. But if not, leaders need to make tough decisions. We do what we must. Just Zevlor, Tilly. We're civilians now, remember?
With respect, sir, being a Hellrider is for life. They can't take...
They can, and did. Avernus changed things. Best we get used to that.
Yes. Zevlor. Keep your steel sharp.
Any word on what we discussed about Korga? What is it? Gods above, this is wonderful news, but I've seen what goblins do to their captives. I wish we could ride to his rescue, but my people would just wind up slaughtered along with him. I'll pray for him. So long as the goblins hold the roads, I'm afraid it's all we can do. Any word on what we discussed about Korga?
Moving. Let's crack it open.
Stealing has caught someone's attention. What will you do? You'll walk free for now, but your stories won't land so well if you're caught again.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
Stop this! We won't ask again.
Careful. Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Bloody hells. She just disappeared. Ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena.
It's our sister, Mayrina. She's... well... she was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. and we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast! Are you joking? I ain't got a clue who you are. No way I'm leaving Rena to you.
But, Joel...
Not a chance. We're getting her back on our own. Now, come on.
What's hiding here?
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched. You blink and the wilderness changes. A swamp, stinking and insidious, assaults your senses.
At the ready. Watch how you go. There's a trap.
There is work to do.
Never a dull moment. Very well.
Why are you here? I sent you to Zevlor. What?
That damn nose of yours has gone poking in our business.
Mistress Olladin, I can explain.
Shh. No need. It couldn't be helped.
Korga! What is the meaning of this?
You think yourself quite the spy, don't you? Go on, tell him.
A shadow druid? Korga, have you lost your mind?
You and Elsin welcome untouchables to your midst. You defile the grove for the sake of harmony.
Olladin speaks truth. Who among you disagrees? Who would see this grove in ruin?
The choice is made. Korga, burn the tainted away. Start with the snitch.
As you say, Olladin. With the grove taken for Cloakwood, the Circle will see that I'm right. The Great Mother will guard us from all danger. Yes. When the darkest hour fell, it was us that brought light. Sylvanas demands we illuminate shadow, not hide within it. How was I so blind?
Careful, Korga. The shadows don't forgive.
I belong to the shadows no longer. You've no power over me.
You would question my power. Mother Earth, hear me. Grant me your wrath.
Let's move. Light on my feet.
Wrath thought me a danger. Seems I've proven him right. It was through power that I would keep us safe. Or so I thought. Yet I betrayed Sylvanus himself. Led the Circle to Shadow. We will stop the Rite, and I will stand trial. My fate lies with Sylvanus. May he have mercy. It began with a letter. There was no messenger, it simply appeared. Olladin came soon after. An army was coming, she said. Goblins, drow, and more still. Legions upon legions. The Druids of Cloakwood knew the dangers this would bring. They ordained that all circles cast the Rite to shelter from the storm. Olladin taught me to harness the Tree Father's power to wall us in. In return, well, you know the rest. I would turn the Grove over to them. I won't forget the wounds I've inflicted. I pray Halsin returns to heal them in full. We will grant them safe harbor until they depart. Meanwhile, help us contend with the goblins. Perhaps we can dissuade them from attacking.
You have saved Korga from herself. I cannot thank you enough.
We've ceased our ritual, but that's not an invitation for you to do as you please. Be respectful of this place.
To think we almost finished the ritual. I felt honored when I was chosen to participate. Now I feel guilty I didn't object.
Korga was right. We must put ourselves first. You had no right to intervene. You're not one of us.
in umbra. Did I say that out loud? We've been chanting for days. I need some rest.
The Rite of Thorns has ceased. It seems you will be allowed to stay. But behave.
We need a plan.
Korga lied to us. She betrayed us. She didn't deserve your mercy.
I knew Korga was desperate, but I never imagined she'd get Cloakwood involved. You pulled her from the brink. She owes you her life. By all appearances, yes. When I look at her, I see the Korga I once knew. But it could be another lie. I pray it isn't.
I'm told the Druids have stopped their damn chanting. What happened? Truly, Ilmater's ashes. I never thought she would actually see reason. Thank you. We still have the goblins to contend with, but you've given us time to prepare. I need to ensure my people make the most of it. But here, left over from my soldiering days, it's sparse thanks for what you've done for us. And I'm afraid I have more yet to ask. You've bought us some time here, but the goblins are still massing out there. We'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, you're no army. There may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. It's unlike them to organize so cleverly.
Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter.
It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task. I suppose so. We don't have much. but we'll scrape together whatever we can. Of course. Everything we have. Anything we can give you, we will. We'll be ready to leave as soon as you give word.